when you work with community organizations, do you see things that you know? Do you identify anything that you think, you know what, if you fix this one thing, it would bring your results in a lot quicker. But they don't know either how to fix that one thing, or they're just not willing to fix it. But what do you think that those, if there was one thing that you could fix in community organizations that will really make their life easier? Because if you were hoping like community organization watch this, that what is it that you think that they're not aware of, but if they did fix it, it will kind of smooth their processes for them?
I think the biggest thing is developing a lead list that you're actually in active communication with.
Yeah.
Because I speak to a lot of community organizations and they'll say to me, oh, Kash, we've got a MailChimp and we've got X amount of people on MailChimp. And then my follow-up question is, okay, how often do you engage with them? Oh, yeah, we've got a monthly newsletter or whatever. So I'm like, okay, so number one, you've not segmented them. You don't know who they are. You don't know what they're interested in. And you're not communicating often enough with them to create a rapport.
So when you say, just for the audience, like, so when you say segment, what do you mean by that?
So it's just separating the audience out by, for example, it might be a category, for example. So it might be a category of course, for example. So let's say you've got diploma course, you've got an Arabic course, for example. You could have a segmentation between the courses, for example. But then without going into the nitty gritty, it can get a lot more sophisticated than that. It could be segmentation based on, let's say, for example, now let's go down a layer where, let's say you've got Arabic course, you've got a load of leads that you've come in from ads or whatever. You've contacted them. And let's say 75% of the people opened the email, 25% didn't. You can further then segment using our system, the 25% and the 75%, so they get different communication. So it's not just having a mailing list. It's actually knowing what that mailing list looks like.
But why is that important? What could that bring them back?
So what could that bring them back is a higher return of that actual segmented audience. Because your strategy for somebody who's engaged with you and who is not engaged with you as much needs to be different. If you're doing the same thing for all, like I've got one client that's got over 10,000 people on the mailing list, they all get the same communication.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like that's problematic.
Yeah.
Because out of them, how many have done your courses?
So they're at so within that 10,000, they're at different stages of the funnel. So when you say funnels, imagine at the top end of this funnel, they've just got to hear about your organization. They don't know nothing about the teachers. They don't know nothing. They've just seen your logo. They've seen an ad or content on social media.
They might have visited your website, filled out a form, whatever it is.
And so that's the awareness stage. And so awareness stage, nobody really needs to, I mean, if you're going to try to sell them or get them to purchase or get them to achieve whatever goal you're trying to achieve, that's more like a leap. You're asking them to leap towards you.
Yeah, could you imagine stuff like, let's say, for example, you go on holiday, for example, yeah, and you see an ad, an ad to go to Turkey, for example, whatever, and, you fill it out. And as soon as you fill it out a week later, they're offering you like a £1,500, £2,000 package.
Yeah.
In winter, when you're looking to go in April, for example.
Yeah, exactly.
Like in terms of like what you say is, and I think you say this quite often with clients, is like if you're, for example, doing social media ads, they're not at 0, they're at -2 in the sense of interest. They're not even interested, but it's something that they may have in the back of their mind. Because when you scroll through Facebook, you're going to get shown things that you might have an interest in based off of, what you're browsing or what you're saying or whatever. So to actually then send them something, to sell them something straight away is suicide. You're wasting money.
Yeah.
Like, you think about it, you spend money on an ad acquiring a lead. You've just burnt that lead.
Mm-hmm.
And then once that lead is gone, it's very hard to bring them back unless you've got this process, what we've talked about, which is segmenting your audience and nurturing them. And I know, Saf, you're really big on nurturing, and you've done a lot of work in the background with the development team to create nurturing sequences for emails. So why is that important over, say, a period of, I don't know, a year? Because a lot of courses, like for institutes and stuff, they run yearly. So let's say, for example, you're running in September. Like, when should you be reaching out to these people?
I mean, it just answers the first question that like, why is that important? Look, you don't propose the first night.
I mean,
Like, you don't propose on the first date. I mean, obviously, just speaking, in the sense of like, that's what they say in marketing.
yeah,
That you don't propose on the first date, which means, right? Okay, so just go about it to know, they fill in the form now, and you want them to do a hijrah walk from Makkah to Medina. You know what I mean? They just heard about you
choose
today.
your words wisely.
No,
brother.
no. It's something that people that we work with.
Yeah, yeah.
So what I'm saying is, we would, like just like they do. But what I'm saying is, you need to nurture them. For instance, somebody's like, let's use Hijrah Walk as an example, right? Hijrah Walk, we're working. It's an organization that's up and coming. They organize walks from Mecca to Medina. Obviously, we're working with them here and there. So, for instance, the commitment to do 40,000 steps a day, right? And if compared to and if somebody is not even aware of what hijrah is, and they want to change their life, and they don't know what the significance of hijrah is, the importance of it, the connection to the Prophet ﷺ, the amazing experiences within that trip itself, the barakah of that trip, the barakah of those locations, the stories of the people that the Prophet ﷺ met. If you don't know all of this stuff and know the significance of this, and the next step of somebody just hearing about you is, let's walk 40,000 steps a day for 8 days, and they don't know about the sheikh that's coming either, the chances of that conversion is like 0.01%. You understand?
Of course.
But if now nurturing would be, okay, a PDF on an ad or something about hijrah. What is hijrah? Did you know the Islamic date starts from hijrah? What is hijrah? Right? Somebody reads upon the hijrah, he reads upon the stories of hijrah, of the walk, then they exposed to the teacher as well, some amazing stories of the Prophet and wives on hijrah, in Abad and different occasions that took place. And then they're kind of connecting with this hijrah, and then it's like, it'll be amazing if I could do this walk myself. You know what I mean? But that might take weeks, it may take months for them to nurture, for them to be nurtured into that. And that's what the nurturing process is. It's about requiring taking people step by step to the goal that you're trying to achieve, and not asking them to take a leap from the moment you've just got to know them, or they've just got into your ecosystem, whatever.